everybody. Welcome back to my podcast, The Mental Edge, here where we talk about the power of your mind and self growth and how to succeed and advance in life. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about letting go of anger. Most people think anger is a problem, but anger is actually a symptom. It's what pain looks like when it's been ignored too long. Anger is a defense mechanism. Anger is often used as a shield for pain. It protects us from feeling vulnerable or hurt. When we don't process pain, it festers and shows up as irritation, resentment, or rage. Coming from a retired crash out, I used to just let everything build up inside me until it used to turn into anger, and then I'm just this angry, bitter person. A lot of people don't see the pain, so they just see an angry person. Growing up, I went through a lot. I was bullied a lot. I argued with my parents a lot. My parents argued a lot. They were pretty angry people growing up due to the things that they were going through. The only emotion I really saw as a kid from my parents was anger. The reason why I would get angry is because I would just let everything boil up to my breaking point because I would ignore how I feel for so long. I can't even communicate. I'm just yelling, screaming, going crazy. I wouldn't allow myself to feel pain and I would just ignore it, push it to the side, deny it, avoid it to the point where I would become so angry and I would feel so uncomfortable with the emotions that I have due to avoiding it for so long. I think that if you show that you're angry instead of showing that you're hurt, that's power or that is strength or that's a better option. There is great strength in being able to show that you're hurt and something hurt you. We don't process pain, it festers and shows up as irritation, resentment, or rage. Let go of your anger. You first need to recognize what the anger is hiding. What is the root of the problem, the root of your pain that triggered this to turn into anger? No matter how angry you are, no matter how angry you get, it doesn't stop what happened. It doesn't change the fact that whatever happened to you happened. And every angry person is somebody that is hurt. Now, the process of how pain turns into anger is something painful happens to us. Rejection, loss, betrayal. And instead of processing it, we suppress it, we act like we don't care, we act like it's not that big of a deal, we ignore it, we distract ourselves for as long as possible. Then the unprocessed emotion becomes emotional pressure, and that's how it turns into anger. The next time you feel angry, take a moment to yourself and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling underneath this? What is the true emotion behind this anger that I have right now? The hard truth is we cannot hide from our emotions. You have to let yourself feel. Acknowledge the pain. Don't deny your feelings. Don't avoid your feelings. Let yourself feel whatever you feel. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself grieve. You're not weak just because you feel pain. Nobody is weak just because they feel pain. Pain is not weakness. I used to never let myself feel sadness because I didn't like it. I didn't like feeling sad. It was an uncomfortable feeling for me. Once it turns into anger, it's even more uncomfortable because it felt like no matter how angry I was, no matter how much I screamed, I fought, I yelled, I still felt the same way. It was just never enough for me. No matter how angry I was, what I would do, I was just always angry. And anger would never stop. The anger was always there. It doesn't matter if you're a man, if you're a woman. The real strength is being able to express and show that you are hurt and vulnerable and still overcome that and learn from that. That's the real strength. Acknowledging and feeling your pain and learning from it. It's really toxic that a lot of people will make you think that feeling emotions is weakness, but it's not. I know that a lot of people were raised that way, and I was too. I was raised and conditioned to think that pain and showing emotion, showing negative emotions like sadness and stuff like that was weakness. That shows how strong you are as a person to even take off the mask and show that you're human and you feel things. That is strength. That is power. The longer you hold on to your anger, the more it becomes a part of who you are and your identity, and makes it harder to heal. That will hold you back from healing is anger. That's why I say a lot of people use anger as a way to not feel the pain. The longer you avoid it, the longer it will take for you to move on and let go and be able to heal. You can never heal if you stay angry. If you stay angry, you're just letting it destroy you. You think holding on to anger protects you, but it's really preventing your pain from ever healing. Anger will hold you back in life. I'm telling you, as someone whose life was literally almost jeopardized due to anger. I almost ruined my future because of anger, because I was so angry and I just couldn't let go and I exploded, put my own future at risk. Taught me a lot. I learned a lot about letting go. Anger is temporary, but the things that you could do when you're mad, those consequences feel like forever, and I'm telling you. Anger feels powerful in the moment, but drains your peace long term. I know you might feel a sense of relief, just letting it all out, screaming, doing whatever you need to do to release your anger, but long term, it will consume you mentally. It keeps you tied to whatever hurt you and stop you from healing. Anger will set you back, it will consume you, it will eat you up inside. I'm telling you from someone who's let it happen for years. You think that holding on to your anger protects you, stopping you from healing from your pain. Being angry doesn't change the fact that you were hurt. No matter how mad you are still hurt. That's something that you have to accept. And feeling your pain and learning from it. When you let that pain turn into anger, you will not learn as much. When you let yourself feel and you let yourself grow and learn, that is where the true growth, that's where it all comes from. You will learn so much more by letting yourself be hurt than just by getting angry. You have to process that emotion. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself feel. Why do you think that you don't deserve to feel the way that you feel? Why do you feel like you have to be emotionless all the time or happy all the time? You don't. Nobody needs to be happy all the time. Nobody needs to be good all the time. Nobody needs to be at peace all the time. You're never going to move on if you don't let yourself feel that emotion. That emotion is going to continue to control you. The more that you suppress it, the more that you avoid it, it's going to end up controlling you because it's going to take away your peace of mind. It's going to damage your mental health. It's going to change the way that you look at the world, the way that you move, controls your reaction, and steals your calm. When you act out of emotion, you will make a lot of dumb decisions. The best choices that you will make in life is logically. In life, you need to learn to separate your emotions from your decisions. You have to make decisions logically instead of emotion. You're not going to be at your best. Separate what happened to you from your identity. The things that have happened to you in life, the way that people have treated you, it is not who you are. It builds who you are. It forms who you are, but it's not who you are and it's not who you're always going to be. You're not always going to be whatever happened to you. Things that happen to us do not determine our worth, who we are as a person, who we're going to be. So don't ever think that whatever happened to you, where you came from, the stuff that you went through was always going to be who you are, because it's not. It's just a situation that formed who you are as a person. Practice emotional awareness. Notice what triggers your anger and what is the root of your anger. What are the painful feelings that you experienced that ended up turning into anger because you didn't want to let yourself feel? Forgiveness for peace, not approval. Forgiveness doesn't mean that whatever happened to you is okay, and whoever did you wrong, that it's okay that they did it. Forgiveness is always for yourself, it's not for the other person. Just remember that forgiveness is for your own inner peace and mental health. It is not for the other person. But I forgive you because I'm not going to continue to suffer and let what you did to me hurt me. There's great power in forgiveness. It's choosing to let go of the situation, it's choosing to let go of what happened, and it's choosing to grow and move on. Channel the anger and pain into something that serves you and benefits you. If you were willing to give that much energy to something that hurts you, then you have to give 10 times more energy to improving yourself. A new activity, discipline, self-improvement. Letting go is never a weakness. It's not throwing in the towel. It's not giving up. It's not letting the situation or the other person win. Letting go is choosing peace. If somebody does something bad to you and you don't react and you just walk away, it's not showing weakness or giving in. You don't need revenge. You don't need them to feel what you felt. Walking away and focusing on yourself and focusing on your peace, real power. You don't need to make them feel how you felt. You don't need to make them feel bad. You just need to walk away and move forward and focus on improving. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change what happened. You still win if you grow from a painful situation. See you winning. Being able to learn and grow and improve from a bad, painful situation. Reclaim control when you stop reacting and responding. A lot of people think of not responding as weak, that you need to fight for your respect or fight for your point to be proven. They don't need to see your point of view. They don't need to understand what you feel. They will at some point, karma's real. They will at some point in their life, they will know what they did is wrong. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to make them feel it. You can't make anybody feel anything. No matter what you do to them, what you say to them, they will never feel how you feel in that moment. You need to let them sit with their thoughts and realize what they've done by themselves. You can never make anybody see what they've done wrong. They gotta see it for themselves. That's why most of the time there's no point in getting angry and reacting, because they're not gonna see your point of view. That's not gonna make them see your point of view. That's not gonna make them feel how you feel. That's not gonna reverse anything. If you're reacting and you're angry and you're coming at them, they're never going to think about it. When you react and you yell at somebody, or when you react in an aggressive way towards somebody, it prevents them from thinking logically about what they've done. But if you calmly walk away and move on, it makes them think about what they've done. Being able to let yourself feel and learn from the pain and improve from the pain, not avoiding it. You're not stronger just because you don't feel pain, because you don't feel anything. That's not strength. Peace is power. The calmer you are, the clearer your mind becomes. No logical decision or good decision comes out of negative emotion like anger. You don't need to be loud for your point to be proven. If anything, your point will be proven even more if you're just silent and calm. Releasing anger and not reacting doesn't mean that you're passive. Silence is power. You reclaim the control when you stop reacting and responding. If anything, it is more powerful not to react, because it makes other people think more about their actions. If you are mad at someone and you just straight up attack them, they're not going to have the opportunity to think about what they've done. They're just going to go into defense mode. When you give them a calm reaction, it really makes them think. Psychologically, it forces them to think about what they've done, because they're going to start to overthink. True strength is emotional regulation, not emotional avoidance. You don't need to be emotionless. You do not need to be numb to all feelings and pain to be strong. That is not strength. The true strength is being able to feel your emotions and overcome them and overcome the obstacles and pain in life. That is the real strength. It is not feeling nothing at all. I know that growing up, depending on how you grew up, a lot of people are conditioned and influenced to think that having no emotion and showing no emotion is power, but you can show no emotion in the tough situations in life by not reacting, but still taking the time to yourself to feel the emotion and let yourself get through it. Peace is power. The calmer you are, the clearer your mind becomes. When you're able to get to a point where most people will be angry, or somebody wants you to be mad, or someone expects you to be mad, when you get to a point where you know you're expected to react a certain way, but you don't, that is the real power. Anger makes you loud, healing makes you wise. Being able to feel your emotions and get through them and learn from them will teach you a lot more than just getting mad and getting angry. Healing and feeling your emotions will teach you a lot more than anger ever will. Anger clouds judgment. When you react emotionally, you miss out on a lot of stuff and you don't get to see the bigger picture. When you're angry, you're not allowed to see the situation clearly and for what it is. You're able to see a lot more with a clear mind and a logical outlook or a logical standpoint. You don't heal by pretending you were never hurt. You heal by admitting what hurt you and refusing to let it turn you bitter. Choose peace. Resentment and anger is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're the only person that feels your anger, so why let it make you suffer and consume you? Why would you let it consume you? And why would you internally suffer just because of another situation or because somebody didn't know how to treat you? That is today's episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm signing out. Have a nice day, guys.